What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we have a video talking about Project A, one of Riot's new game releases that is going to be coming out sometime in 2020. It is their tactical FPS shooting game. It is a strategic, competitive, skill-based shooting game that a lot of people are really excited about. People are calling it kind of a cross between Overwatch and CSGO in some ways. It's going to be a direct competitor to CSGO. CSGO has been one of the biggest esports in the world for a long time now. Riot is obviously one of the biggest game developers in terms of esports in the world, so they are trying to dip their toe into this new game mode, into this new game, into this new venture, and I know a ton of people are excited about it. A couple years ago, once I started playing League of Legends, it became the main game I played, and really the only video game I played or got excited about or whatever for a couple of years. I played CSGO on and off, and I think CSGO is a great game, an all-time classic, but Project A is one of the games that I've been the most excited about releasing for quite some time. It's been years and years since I've been so excited. I think a lot of people feel this way too. This game looks great. It sounds great. Riot's saying a ton of good things. They're saying all the right things. And if they pull this off well, and how I know they can, because Riot Games, one of the best game developers in the world, this game could be an all-time classic, an all-time great game. It could flop, it could suck as well, but I'm definitely hyped to try it out, and I know a lot of people are too. So in this video today, we're going to be running through what all we know about Project A, all the information out there, and hopefully giving you guys some updates, and hopefully you guys can learn something from this video. So very recently, Henry G, this guy who is a CSGO commentator, CSGO caster, he's a former professional CSGO player, he got to try out Project A at Riot EU at their headquarters. A lot of people have gotten to try the game like privately and stuff. They can't talk about a lot of things, they can't give a lot of leaks and stuff, but Henry G actually had a lot of tweets that told us a lot of information, a lot of great stuff about the game. So we're going to be running through his tweets first, and then kind of talking about some of the other things that I've been able to dig up about the game, and then just kind of getting you guys hyped up and excited about everything that we know. So running through just a bunch of the highlights that he tweeted out. One, it's going to be a 5-on-5 tactical shooter, very similar to CSGO, how they have the 5-on-5 nature. It's not the greatest comparison, but it is like that. It has better and slightly diluted elements of class hero-based FPS games such as Overwatch and Apex. I think that is key. I think that is very good. So CSGO is a great game, but it's very vanilla. You know, it's just the straight rifle, just straight competitive skill-based shooter game, and that's great. And that's a reason why so many people love it. It's so accessible, so simple, so straight up. Other games like Overwatch and even Apex, as they talk about here, they go over the top with the hero, tactical, you know, all the abilities and stuff, and it really changes it. You get away from that straight gunplay, that straight skill expression competition where you have these abilities and crazy spells and everything flying all over the map. So I think a slightly diluted version is a good thing, even though that word that kind of has a negative connotation around it. I think that is great. The more skill, the more straight gunplay that's involved in an FPS, I think the better it's really going to be, especially for classic FPS fans and if you're trying to be a competitor with CSGO. I think Overwatch is just a little too over the top for most people. So that's honestly a huge plus. I love to hear that because I want a game similar to CSGO, honestly. Just a better CSGO would be awesome, but if they're able to mix in a little bit of abilities, maybe some new fresh stuff to keep the game exciting without having it be dominant in the game, I think that's going to be great. The game, it's 12 rounds per side. It's search and destroy with an A and B bomb site. I have heard that they're even trying out some maps with 3 bomb sites. That would be kind of interesting and hard to defend with only 5 people. It would create for some interesting scenarios. Maybe they can make it work, maybe not. It's definitely something they're testing out, and once the game comes out, we'll have to see if that works or not. I think it's good that they're at least trying out different things like that, though. I think the 12 rounds per side, I think, is good. I think sometimes CSGO games can feel a little long, kind of drag out, kind of, I don't know. I think 12 per half with a 24 total rounds, you know, it's 6 less than CSGO. I don't think that would necessarily be a bad thing. I think a little bit quicker games wouldn't be too bad, but still long enough that you get to see which team's really better. So I don't have any problems with that. He's saying that the abilities feel like tactical utility rather than potentially overpowered spell and ultimate combinations. I think that's really great. He says that's what other games suffer from. I completely agree with that, and I think a lot of other people do too. Also, something that's so interesting is that abilities are purchased. I think this is a really big thing. So guns and abilities are purchased at the beginning of rounds, just like in CSGO. That adds the strategic element of the economy. I think that is so cool. People love strategy, people love mind games, having to come up with optimal strategies, and it just adds another layer of skill expression into the game. And combining the abilities into that is not really something I ever thought of. Because you think about abilities, you think that's something that's just built into your character, maybe that you gain over time after so many kills or something. But by having to buy them, you're having to make decisions between guns and abilities, and the team that's ahead and has money gets more strong abilities and power-ups. You're rewarded for being ahead, doing well. I think that's really interesting. That's honestly another thing that I'm really excited about, and something that I think they got right. At least on paper, that sounds great. The gameplay and gun mechanics are super slick and satisfying. That's all obviously going to be a really important part of any FPS. They talk about something else they've talked about a lot is the servers. They really want smooth servers, 120 tick rate, just really important. Not having peaker's advantage, having smooth, reliable gameplay that feels like you are in total control of everything, that you're not getting cheated out of any moments, anything like that, and that's obviously amazing too. That's really easy to say, much harder to pull off, but I'm optimistic. I'm at least willing to give them a chance. Here you go. They're talking about the economy. You can partially invest into rounds with less firepower, you know, saving econ rounds, stuff like that. I think that's an essential part of any game that's going to have an economy, because if that wasn't part of it, then the money wouldn't even make sense if you're just able to buy stuff all the time. Something else they talked about is that there are guns, like the main primary rifles, the main guns, the strongest guns, the most expensive. They have one-tap headshots on most of them in most situations. I think that is also really important because that's skill. You know, being able to hit a headshot and being rewarded for that is really, really important. You want shots to the body to not be as good, and you want headshots to be kills, because if it's going to take multiple headshots to kill people with the best guns, then you just get into crazy health bar scenarios where then I think the abilities would start to run rampant. So I think that's really cool. Also, he's talking about the map design being really Counter-Strike-esque in terms of, you know, flow, having choke points, lanes where you can, it's simple, easy to memorize, easy to plan out, but also enough variance in the maps and enough going on in the maps where there's still strategic elements where you can set up flanks, set up hiding spots and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. CSGO definitely does a nice job with their maps, most of them at least. I think there are some maps that do kind of suck in CSGO, but I'm sure Riot's take on it will be different and hopefully refreshing and interesting. But yeah, that's mostly all the stuff that he was saying in his tweets. That's a lot of great information there. If you do want to check all those out, that is Henry G at Henry G CSGO on Twitter. He said, you know, once he's able to, he's going to be pumping out a ton of more information and stuff about the game. He's one of the guys that's gotten to play the game. He's got his hands on it. He's really, really excited. And as being a former professional CSGO player and a professional caster, he said that Project A is the best game he has played since CSGO, and that is a big statement from someone like him. I think it's something that I was really excited to see. I'm really excited about, and hopefully you guys are as well. Because that is definitely a big statement. I just want to play this video in the background while I talk about some other things. It's got a little bit of Project A gameplay mixed in here somewhere. So a couple of things that I wanted to cover that maybe weren't in those tweets. People are talking about March 2nd a lot as the next big date that a lot of new news, information, potentially gameplay, potentially release date information is going to be coming out. So March 2nd, definitely be expecting a video from me. A lot of people in the Project A community, rioters and stuff, have told them that that's the day to watch out for, to be ready, be excited for that date, because a ton of information is going to be dropping. People are expecting a 2020 release for this game. It's been pretty much all but confirmed that it's going to be free to play. I think that's, you know, kind of a staple in Riot Games. All their games are free to play. They're really accessible to people, especially with CSGO being free to play now. If you want to be a direct competition of that, I think it needs to be free to play. Also, CSGO has shown you that free to play model can be successful in this genre. Skins being a huge money maker for them over there. Gun skins, I think they're not even that. I don't think CSGO has been that great as far as their monetization. I think Riot has a lot of ways they can improve on CSGO's model and make even more money and do even more things that people are going to be excited about. So I think the game could definitely be free to play. Some of the other stuff, name reveal is going to be soon. That's soon TM. Who knows when that's going to be. I'm expecting that on March 2nd for sure, because that would make sense. Project A is just a filler name, like a holder, until they actually start to develop the game more and come up with all the branding and all that stuff. Also, they're going to really try to crack down hard on cheating. They want cheating to be next to impossible in this game. CSGO has gone through stretches where cheating is a major, major problem. So Riot getting on top of that before the game is even released, I think is going to be really, really important. Making sure that once this game comes out, it's ready to go and it feels good. There's no cheating. There's no terrible servers, no anything like that. It can be hard to pull off, but I hope Riot, you know, kind of plays the safer side and waits longer rather than sooner to release a game that's going to suck, because if people's first impressions are negative about this game, it could definitely flop. But if everything goes right and everything is smooth on release and everything is great, I think it could be a real competitor to CSGO, and I think it could be a game that really rivals and maybe even overpasses CSGO as far as a game and an esport, because Valve has definitely kind of let CSGO slide in some ways. The game is kind of as big as ever, but Valve isn't doing as much. They're not as good of a developer as Riot Games, and Riot Games has a real opportunity here. A lot of people are saying that this game is much closer to Rainbow Six than Overwatch, which I think is good, because Rainbow Six isn't too crazy over the top with any of the things they're doing. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I wanted to talk about in this one. I think we got through most of the key important stuff. That is everything that we currently know, at least the stuff that I could find, that we currently know about Project A. Hopefully you guys learned something from this video. Hopefully you guys are excited about this game too. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about Project A? Are you excited about it? Are you going to be trying it out? And just any thoughts you have on any of the information I shared in this video. Definitely subscribe, stay updated on all my latest content. I'm trying to just make videos about all things Riot Games. League of Legends, Project A, Legends of Runeterra, all that great stuff coming to you in the near future. So definitely, again, if that sounds great to you, subscribe, stay updated on all of that. Hopefully I see you guys in the next video. But until then, peace.